for your long-term goal, let's ask, let's get specific. What is your long-term goal?
My long-term goal is to become a lawyer.
A lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like the paralegal is like a short-term goal that leads up to the long-term goal.
Yes.
Like a domino effect.
Yes. I've been doing some research, and I have came to that if I work 3 years as a paralegal underneath a lawyer as an apprentice, then I can sit for my entrance exam into an accredited law school.
Wow. Okay.
And then attend that for a year and then sit for my bar exam
Wow.
in New York State.
Nice. New York State, I always complain about New York State because I just moved to Charlotte and I love it here. But New York State does have some perks, definitely does. So I'm not gonna front.
I don't know. It's actually 4 different states that allow it too. So.
Only 4?
Yeah. Currently.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's a good. Definitely take advantage of those opportunities because especially if they're rare and it's not that way in every state. Okay, so that's a good goal. So what actions are you taking? Well, first, before that, how are you keeping track of your long-term goal? Like, I know you said with the short-term goal, you have your board, you write down, what you need to do, check off your to-do list. But long-term goals, there's not things that you really do daily, over time. So how do you keep track of your long-term goal?
So with my long-term goals, I have a binder, and it's like divided up into sections. So say if once I take my online course, and then there's like another for that semester, then I flip that section.
Okay.
And I'm checking them off, and then I'm going to the new section, and then I'm writing that new section on my board.
Right.
And then once I complete that, I'm going to my binder and I'm flipping that section.
Okay, so just like this goal strategy, you use a strategy of your own, like breaking it down into smaller sections, breaking the big goal down. With that binder, you're a more visual person. That's why it's so important to know yourself and know how you like to learn, what's best for you, because you know that in order for you to really, keep track and be organized and reach this goal, is to have it broken down into smaller sections. That works for me. It seems to work for a lot of people. Instead of trying to look at it one whole thing, and I have to do all of this work, breaking it down, focusing on one thing at a time. That's why I don't really like New Year's resolutions, because people are like, this is my goal for the entire year.
Right.
And instead of breaking it down to say, okay, this is what I want to do now. I'm going to give myself 90 days to accomplish this. After those 90 days, this is my next goal. And you can have a long-term goal for that entire year. But I feel like focusing it on one thing at a time, make sure that, you don't get discouraged, you don't get distracted. It keeps it fresh in your mind. It keeps you excited about reaching that long-term goal.
Yeah, because my New Year's resolution, if I haven't done it like the first week, then I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm going to start next year.
Whatever. Yeah, but if you have short-term goals that lead up to the long-term goal, the domino effect, they just all fall into each other. It keeps you excited, keeps you motivated, keeps you encouraged. You actually see progress for yourself and say, oh wow, I did that 3-month goal for myself. Now I'm on my way to my next goal. I'm busting down the next goal. Now I'm done with the next goal. I'm crushing goals all year. So once the end of the year comes, you see that you were able to reach whatever that long-term goal was just from having that encouragement, motivation from knocking down the short-term goals leading up. Okay, cool. All right, so what steps are you taking to make sure that you reach the goal of becoming a lawyer? I know it's a little different because you still have to become a paralegal first, the way that you're trying to do it. So what would you say actions you're taking? Maybe it's just the research you're doing right now, getting everything
I've done research, and I would say, like, when they say you need to change your people, places, and things, that literally I change my people, places, and things.
Yes.
So the places now that I go, I just went to a gala where there's like a lot of, like, people within the community who are actually doing things.
Yes.
I go out of town by myself. I go on events, places by myself, and I'm networking by myself.
Yes.
So
Is that my phone?
it's a lot of different things that I'm doing. What's your phone?
You can just. Okay, so that's awesome. I feel like being around people who are successful or already doing the thing that you are looking to do helps you to manifest that goal to real life. It helps you see how it feels, how it looks to be in that position already. It makes you feel like, wow, this person right here did it. What makes me any different? I can do it too. It's like an affirmation,
Right.
for you to really accomplish your goals and really believe in yourself and put that confidence in yourself to
Right.
push you to keep going. Okay, so why is becoming a lawyer important to you versus the paralegal? Is it the same or similar?
It's similar. I would say it's kind of like breaking it down if you have a home health aide or a nurse's aide, and then you have the actual nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Like the home health aide and the nurse's aide, they are actually on the ground and they're doing all of the work. Like the
Right.
nurse, they're more paperwork. With the paralegal, they're doing the research, they're doing everything, and the lawyer is getting out there and getting things done.
Right.
So with that, I'm going to have my paralegal. I'm going to know how to do all of my own groundwork.
Mm-hmm.
And with my lawyer, I'm going to be able to get out and do what I need to do. And then I'm going to take that and I plan on writing a bill or something of the sort for the disabled and for the elderly and for people who just don't have a voice. I'm going to be the voice that they don't have.
Right. So I feel like you being able to relate to the people that you work with is what makes it important to you.
Yeah.
You feel like you can relate to them, you know how it feels, and you know how it feels to have someone, it would be good to have someone in your corner who can advocate for you and help you that knows what it feels like versus
Right.
someone who's just there to just get
Right.
some money from you.
Right. So I'm a nurse and I've been
Mhm.
the patient
Mm-hmm.
and I've been the parent of patients and I'm the daughter of patients. So it's
You see it from every angle.
Yeah.
Right, so you can relate to many people. So I feel like when you connect your passion with your purpose, I feel like that's when you reach the total fulfillment. That's at that point you're like, I know what I was created to do and I know what drives me to do it. I do this because I feel strongly connected to it. And when you have that passion behind it, it makes it even more fulfilling. Some people go into things just for the money. Some people feel like they really are passionate about doing hair and they do hair and they love doing hair. And you can tell by their work. But people who go into it because they feel like, I like to make people look nice, but not really passionate about doing hair, they connect those two and they're miserable. And you can see in their work that they don't like to do it, and that's not what they're meant to do. That's not what they're passionate about. And money tends to be the thing that draws us to these things that are not meant for us. So it's really important to know what your goals are, short term or long term, and break them down and know why it's important to that you reach this goal. That's going to push you to, reach it even more.
Right. I agree.
Okay, so for your long term goal, do you give yourself a deadline for this? If so, why? And if so, I know you give yourself a deadline for the short term goal, not as strict of a specific date, but around what time you want to get this completed. What about the long term goal?
My long-term goal, like I said, is necessarily I want to become the lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
but then I want to be on the Senate floor. I
Okay.
want to introduce this bill that I'm coming up with and that I'm going to be working on with some lawyers that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I would say with that, I don't have a deadline because there's a lot of things that I have to research because I don't want to take that to the floor
Right.
and then reject it.
Yeah.
I want to come with all of my I's dotted and all of my T's crossed.
Right.
And I want, like I said, to be the voice and I want to make the change.
Right. So yeah, I think sometimes it's important to have a specific date. Like, this is the day I'm gonna get this goal. I'm a fan of giving yourself a deadline because at that point, even if you don't necessarily make the deadline, you know that you are making steps to like a countdown. Like, I have 30 days left. I have a year left. I have 2 years to get this done. I'm gonna do this year, this next year. And I feel like to me it helps you break your goals down even more. But when you have long-term goals like that are very serious, very strict, you may need to get a master's or a bachelor's degree for them. It may take longer than you expect it to take, but still having some general outline, like, okay, 5 years or 10 years or somewhere between 5 and 10 years. And then when it gets closer, get more specific with your timeline or with your deadline for that goal.
Most definitely, mine is going to be sometime after that 5 years. It's
Right.
not going to most definitely not be 10.
Right.
There needs to be a change sooner than that.
Yeah. And because you're passionate about that goal, it's going to make sure that you're on it. Like, no, I don't want this to keep happening this way. I'm dedicated, I'm determined, and I'm passionate about reaching this goal. So my goal setting strategy, I'm going to include it for you guys to apply it to both your short term and your long term goals. As we can see with my mom today, she was able to apply it for her short term goals, apply it to her long term goals, help her get organized on what needs to be done to reach this goal, why it's important to her, what's driving her to reach that level, which I know that she will do. And I feel like speaking out loud and talking about it with people and telling people what your goals are. I know this, some people say, oh, don't tell anybody what you're doing until it's done. Don't tell anybody your goals. I mean, if you could find someone that you can confide in to kind of speak it into existence, because your words are very, very, very powerful. I feel like, if you tell someone, I am going to become a lawyer, then it not only makes them believe you, but it makes you believe you. Because sometimes we can be our own critic. We can be our biggest critic. We can be our biggest hater. We can be our biggest enemy. And that little voice in our head is going to doubt everything that we try to do. So if we can tell ourselves and help ourselves to believe that we can become whatever it is that you want to become is super, super important.
So I should say I'm going to be the next council, and I'm going to be the next president 2035. Vote for me.
Yes. Whatever you want to do, I feel like it's so important. I say affirmations in the morning in the mirror to myself. Right now, one of my short-term goals is becoming a licensed esthetician, and I'm on my way to achieving that goal. And I tell people sometimes if I'm randomly meeting someone, oh, I'm an esthetician, and I'll call places and look into renting out salon suites, and I say, hi, I'm an esthetician and I'm looking for a space. And they don't need to know that I'm currently not an esthetician. I'm not actually going there tomorrow to sign papers and get the office space, but I'm putting myself there. I'm manifesting it. I'm, telling them I am an esthetician because it's something that I strongly believe I'm going to accomplish. So talking to people about it is very important. It helps you to realize it can come true. And once you do achieve that goal, and you say it back to yourself like, wow, I am an esthetician. I knew that I could become this. I knew that I can do it. It just makes you feel real good about yourself and about the work that you put in to create your dream life or your desired life. Now, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and include the link that you guys can use, this goal planning strategy, to break down your short-term and your long-term goals. And that's all we have for today, you guys. With love. So should I end it like that? Is that a weird way to end it? Like, did I not ease into the ending? Feels fine? Alright, that's it.